Thank you. This next lesson is something my 6th graders are familiar with because I taught it last year. Those that are new will not have any clue what I'm about to say, okay? But I want you to write this, I don't know what you call it. Write this on your paper. What is it called where you like,
abbreviation?
Kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like abbreviation. It's a special word, but okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Kill her dog.
Kill her dog.
Don't chase mine. I think we wanted to say kiss her dog last year. Okay? You can also say kiss her dog, don't chase mine. That's fine.
It's like the mnemonic device.
Okay? Alright? This is what I'm teaching you called the metric system.
Oh.
And we are using, I guess, abbreviations. I don't really know. It's not really abbreviations. It's just the first letter of each word. Okay? So, kiss her dog, don't chase mine. Okay. Does anybody know what the K stands for? Kilo. Anybody know what the H stands for?
Kilo. Hydrogen.
No, that's in science. Hecto. It may be hecto. I'm trying to think if it's hecto or hecto. Okay? You may know what the D. Deca. Good try. Okay? Then on the right side of this, I'm going to explain to you what this little part of it is. We know what these are. Dessa, Centa, and Milla. Okay? Now, what this means is, this is the metric system. Okay, now, this right here, what I'm going to put in here either is liters, meters, or grams. And I put my capital L just so it didn't look like an I or a line. Okay? Liter, meter, and gram. Alright? Liters are measurements of water. Measurements of liquid.
Like a 2 liter.
Anything of liquid, okay? M is meters, which are measurements of distance. Okay? I'm measuring something with a meter stick, okay? And grams is the measurement of mass or weight. Very good. Okay, does everybody understand? So these are 3 totally different measurements depending on what we're measuring. If I'm measuring water or liquid, I'm going to be talking about liters. And I'll say kiloliter or centiliter or milliliter. You see what I'm saying? If I'm talking about meters, it's something I'm measuring distance. Okay? A piece of wood, a piece of carpet, whatever. And I would say it's a kilometer long or a millimeter long. Everybody understand? And then there's grams, which is what?
Mass and weight.
Somebody else.
Mass and weight.
Mass and weight, okay? That's like if I took this and I wanted to weigh it. What is this? How many grams is it or milligrams is it? Most of the time, pills.
I'm guessing about 3.
Pills, things that we, medicines and stuff, they are actually weighed as milligrams. So if you hear how much milligram do you take, you may, Tylenol I think is 500 milligrams, okay? So it's the weight of how much you're taking. Everybody understand? Okay, now, what I want you to understand is, 1 kilo, let's do meters, okay, just to stick with one of the measurements. 1 kilometer or kilometer is the same thing. Let me do this up here. We'll put a, let me move this so y'all can see. 1 kilogram is the same thing as 1,000
I thought it was
gram. Okay? So 1,000, meter. 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000 meters. Got it? You see how I did that? 1 kilometer is, and I went all the way to the end of this meter. So 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000 meters. Does everybody see how I did that? Okay, now 1 meter is the same thing as 100 centimeters. Everybody see how I did that? 1 meter, and then I filled everything else into with zeros, and I stopped there, so that's 100 centimeters. So I'm going to say 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. How many millimeters would it be?
1,000.
1,000, because I filled it in. Very good. Everybody see how we did that? So 1 meter would be 1,000 millimeters, or 100 centimeters, or 10 decimeters. Everybody see how you do that, how you convert it really easily? Okay, this would be very helpful for you, especially as you get used to it when you start taking the ACT or the SAT. You knowing this is going to help you convert any measurement you ever have to. Okay, so it's very important that you can do this. Now, one thing I want to say is, whichever one is on the left, the bigger is where you put your 1. Okay, to try to figure out what the other measurement is. You always put it on the higher one. So if I'm doing something with kilo and centi, I always start with the 1 on the left right here. 1 kilometer is how many centimeters? It's 100,000 centimeters. Everybody see that? So I always put my 1 on the left. All right, now, what if they said 3 kilometers is how many centimeters? Okay, now listen, 3 kilometers is how many centimeters? What did I tell you to do? Always do your 1. 1 kilometer is how many centimeters?
100,000.
100,000. So if 1 kilometer is 100,000 centimeters, then 3 kilometers would be 300,000 centimeters. You see what I'm saying? Everybody understand how I did that conversion? Okay? If I did a 1 up here, then it would change it to 100,000. If I did a 3, then it would change to 300,000. Everybody got it? Okay. But usually we won't even have to cross this to get to over here. Okay, that was just an example. Now, the US Customary System, let me erase this for just a minute. In our world, we typically go by the US Customary System. Why? Because we're in the US. Very good. So when we measure things, we very rarely hear kilometer or centimeter or millimeter, even though those do sound familiar. People in other worlds, that's all they use. What we are accustomed to hearing is miles, feet, inches. Those are things that we measure with because we're in the US Customary System, okay? But everybody else in the world uses this, okay? So when you watch the Olympics, guess what they go by? This is a blank centimeter race. Not centimeter, but kilometer race, okay? They're not telling us how many miles they're running. They're telling us how many kilometers they're running, okay? Why? Because everybody else uses the metric system. Okay, now, I've got so many, do you see this? Whoa. That's my notes. I'm trying to figure out what I was trying to say. Okay, so here's what I want to do, all right? The question number 1 says 5 kilometers is how many meters? Okay?
5,000.
Yes, very good. So if I put a 5 or a 1 up here, I'm going to put a 5 down here. 1 kilometer is how many meters?
1,000.
1,000. So 5 kilometers would be 5,000 meters. Very good. Okay, now, then it says this. And this is where it can get confusing, so I want you to really pay attention. Here's what it tells me. 300 centimeters is how many meters? Stay with me. They're going from centimeters to meters. But what did I tell you to do? Always go from left to right. So we're looking at this, centimeters and meters. So I'm going to put my 1 here. So 1 meter is how many centimeters? Okay, so I'm going to write that measurement down. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Okay? Now I'm going to flip that because right now I've got centimeters on this side and meters on this side. So now I'm going to put 100 centimeters on this side equals 1 meter. So if 300 centimeters equals, we don't know how many meters, but we know that 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So 300 centimeters would equal 3. Okay, look. 300, 100. Centimeters, centimeters.
30,000.
Look, 100 centimeters equals how many meters?
1.
Okay, so 300 centimeters would equal 3. Everybody see that? 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 300 centimeters equals 3 meters. Okay? Everybody got that? See how I did that? Okay, let's do a few more so I know that you know what I'm talking about. All right, now.
Can we do it myself this time?
Yes, I'll let you try one. Okay, this one says a 2-liter bottle can hold how many milliliters of beverage? Okay, 2-liter bottle can hold how many milliliters of beverage? What are my 2 measurements I'm looking at? Liters and milliliters. I'm going to circle that. Liters and milliliters. Okay, what does 1 liter equal?
1,000.
Okay, so 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So 2 liters would equal 2,000 milliliters. Everybody see that? All right, so how many milliliters does a 2-liter bottle hold?
2,000.
Okay, now this is just something that I just want you to star on your paper. They just like throw this out here all of a sudden. And here's what I want you to see, is that 1 kilogram weighs 2.2 pounds. 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Okay, I'm going to read kind of what they say. Although a kilogram is a unit for measuring mass anywhere in the universe, here on Earth, use kilograms to measure the weights of goods that they buy or sell. And I need you to know that a kilogram mass weighs about 2.2 pounds. Okay, it's just for your information, because you may have to convert something soon. They may say, if something, something, something is this many kilograms, how many pounds is that? Okay, so if I said something weighed 5 kilograms, how much does that weigh in pounds? What would I do?
You do 2.
Multiply 2.2 times 5. Why? Because I have 5, not just 1. I need 5 of these. 5 times this. Very good. Okay, now, let me give y'all some examples to do on your own. Okay, to see if you're getting it. Okay? Whoa. I don't want to teach that next part yet because I want to make sure you are getting this. Okay, a closet door is 2 meters tall. How many centimeters is that? Something is 2 meters tall. How many centimeters is that?
200 centimeters.
Do it on your paper. 2 meters is how many centimeters?
I got the answer.
Okay. Try again. 2, try again. Oh no, you got to, yep.
Okay.
You said it wrong a while ago though. Yes? Yes. What you should have done is we're looking at meters and centimeters. I'm going to circle those. 2 meters is how many centimeters? 200. Very good. Okay. All right, let's try this one. This one may be a confusing question. It says a 1 gallon plastic jug can hold how many liters of milk? Now problem, we heard about gallons, and we heard about what?
Liters.
Liters. Okay, gallons is a U.S. word. Liters is a everywhere else word. Problem, what do?
We're in the United States.
We are in the United States. But I'm learning about gallons, and I'm supposed to convert or figure out how many liters. Does anybody know how many liters are in a gallon?
2.
I'm going to write this down. Everybody write this one down.
1.5.
Nope. 4 approximately. And I'm going to put this little squiggly line. Approximately 4 liters is what 1 gallon equals. Now this is mixing measures because, like I said, one is a U.S. Measurement and the other one is everywhere else in the world measurement. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if we just went with the world?
So liters are kind of like quarts.
Kind of, because there's 4 quarts in a gallon. You're exactly right. Okay, yes, liters and quarts are very closely related. Very good. So there's approximately 4 liters in 1 gallon. So that's another measurement I need you to start. Okay?
So when you buy a 2 liter, it's half gallon?
It's pretty much a half gallon. You're exactly right. I mean, it's not exactly because there's, a little bit, but it's mostly. Okay, now, all right. Listen to this one. And this one's going to be a mixed measure. You are zoning out on me. I know this is a lot. Okay, so try to stay with me. Anybody need to stand up, jump up? What do you need to do?
Go to sleep.
No, that won't work. Okay, ready?
It's in our minds, in our dreams.
Write this information that you think is important down. How many 250 milligram tablets of vitamin C equal 1 gram of vitamin C? How many 250 milligram tablets equal 1 gram of vitamin C? Okay, this one's kind of hard, yes. Okay, so I'm going to write down some information. This one's a hard one. It says, how many 250 milligram tablets equal 1 gram of vitamin C? What is my problem? What is my struggle? What's wrong? They're asking me 2 totally different things. They're telling me that I have 250 milligram tablets, but I want to know how much 1 gram of vitamin C.
2,500.
Close. Keep thinking. Okay. So what are my 2 measurements I'm looking at? Milligram and gram, right? So I'm going to circle that. I'm looking at milligrams and grams. All right, now go with me. 1 gram equals how many milligrams? No. 1 gram equals how many milligrams?
1,000.
Okay, hear that. 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. So if each tablet is 250 milligrams, how many tablets fit into that?
250,000? 200.
No. Stop thinking, okay, let's say I had a tablet, and this one was 250 milligrams.
4.
How many of these would I need
4.
to put into that?
4.
Yes. Why? Because
250
250
times 4
plus
is 1,000.
another 250 pill, plus another 250 pill,
So
plus
1,000
another 250
divided by
pill.
250.
These 4 tablets equal 1,000 milligrams. And 1,000 milligrams equals, and is that what we were wanting? How hard was that? I understand. Y'all are probably like, what in the world did I just do?
My papa, he takes a lot more than 1 gram of.
Okay, we're not worried about that right now. Okay, so what I want you to see is, we're talking about how many of these tablets equal 1 gram. Well, there's a problem because I needed to figure out how much 1 gram equaled. And 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. So how many of these do I need to equal 1,000? Do you see what I'm asking? It's kind of a hard problem. Okay? It's really hard for your brain to go there. Did y'all struggle with that one? It's kind of hard, isn't it? Okay? So what I want you to realize is that we needed to figure out milligrams. And I did that by doing this procedure up here. So 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. And I need 4 of these to equal 1,000. Anybody else worn out? You can watch this lesson over and over and over again. Eventually it will make sense. Okay? Literally, this is all like taking all this amount of work and going, trying to shove it into a little compartment that your brain is not completely ready for. Okay? So if you are struggling, watch it again and again and again. Eventually your brain will click and it will work. Okay?
I understand it enough to where I'll be able to do the lesson practice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's important to teach. Let me ask you this though. The Celsius scale and the Fahrenheit scale, which one do we use?
Fahrenheit.
Again, we're the strange ones. What does everybody else use?
Celsius.
The Celsius scale. Okay, why? I don't know. Okay, but from freezing to boiling on the Celsius scale,
32.
who knows what is on
Freezing is
Celsius?
32.
On Celsius, freezing is 0, which completely makes sense, and boiling is 100. Completely simple in the Celsius scale. Okay, but we use the Fahrenheit scale. Who knows what the freezing in Fahrenheit is?
32 degrees.
32 degrees. You hear that for your yogurt because it's freezing. Okay, good. But what is the boiling?
120?
212. Strange.
I was
Okay?
2000.
So think of me
At
from
least be like 1.
yeah. It has no yeah. So think with me for a minute. On the Celsius scale, from 0 to 100, how long does it take us to get from freezing to boiling?
100 degrees.
100 degrees. Go over here to the Fahrenheit scale. I'm at freezing at,
32.
and I'm at boiling at
212.
212. How many degrees does it take to get from freezing to boiling?
100?
180. Okay? So, you see the difference in scales? They're totally different. They measure in a total different way. All right? And so they end up asking us pretty much that question. All right. Go on and do your lesson practices, and these are the ones I want you